What she really means is, I've been with more men than I'll admit. When she says, I've been through a lot, what she really means is, I've cycled through connections that never lasted. When she says, I don't regret anything, it was all part of the journey, what she really means is, I know I've given away parts of myself I can't get back. But she'll never phrase it that way, because that would require vulnerability. And vulnerability is something that erodes after too many repetitions. This is why, when you meet a woman with genuine depth, her words feel different. She doesn't talk about experiences. She talks about how someone made her feel. She talks about growth, about lessons, about moments that changed her. She uses language that shows intimacy was rare and sacred. Contrast that with a woman who's been with many men. Her words are vague, detached, and transactional. She reduces years of interactions into a single line. I was with him for a while. No warmth, no intimacy, no emotional residue. Just another entry in a long sequence. And here's where it gets even more telling. She'll use humor to gloss over it. She might laugh when she says, "Oh, I've had some crazy experiences." That laugh isn't joy, it's deflection. It's her way of signaling that she doesn't want you to look deeper. But if you're listening closely, you'll realize she just gave herself away. The stoic man listens beyond the laugh. He doesn't get hypnotized by the charm or the casual tone. He hears the absence of emotion in her words. He recognizes that the more she avoids describing feelings, the clearer it becomes that she's had too many experiences to keep track of. And here's the brutal truth. A woman's words are often crafted to protect her reputation, but her patterns expose her reality. The constant emphasis on experiences instead of feelings is one of those patterns. It tells you she's been through more than she wants to admit. It tells you she's rewritten her past in a way that hides the intimacy but leaves the volume intact. So the next time she smiles and says, "I've had my fun," hear what she's really saying. It's not about fun. It's about numbers. It's about repetition. It's about a past she'll never spell out, but one you can read between the lines. Real quick, before we go deeper, I've got something powerful for you. It's a free ebook called The Attraction Handbook. Inside, you'll learn how to make her crave you using just a few psychological moves. It's free for now, so grab it in the description or the pinned comment below. Fourth, her social media tells the story. She might deny, she might downplay, she might even lie. But one thing women can't fully control: the digital trail they leave behind. In the age of social media, Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat have become more revealing than any confession she could ever make. And if you want to know the truth about a woman's past, you don't ask her directly. You watch what her online presence whispers when she thinks no one is paying attention. A woman with a modest history doesn't need her profile to be a performance. Her pictures are steady, consistent, natural, family, friends, the occasional trip. You don't get the sense that she's selling an image. But a woman who's been with a lot of men, her social media often becomes a highlight reel, not of love, but of attention. And attention is the currency she's addicted to. Look closer. Does her profile scream nightlife? Endless selfies in clubs, champagne glasses in hand, girls' nights that seem less about friendship and more about being seen. That's not just coincidence. It's conditioning. She's learned that validation comes from being visible, from constantly projecting the image of fun, free, and desirable. And men, dozens of them, sometimes hundreds, validate it with likes, comments, messages. But it's not just the obvious party pictures. It's the subtle cues. Late-night posts with captions like, "Living my best life," "You only live once," or "No regrets." These aren't harmless lines. They're coded signals. Mantras used to justify a lifestyle she knows isn't built on stability or depth. They're affirmations designed to hide regret. Then there are the cryptic quotes. Never settle. Know your worth. He lost a real one. These aren't random. They're emotional aftershocks of short-lived flings, relationships that ended as quickly as they started. Each quote is a breadcrumb, a hint of drama, a silent admission that her emotional history isn't a stable one. And don't forget the frequency. The woman who's constantly posting, constantly updating, constantly fishing for reactions. She's not just sharing her life, she's competing with herself. She's measuring her worth in comments and fire emojis because she's used to being validated by a crowd of men. If her likes dip, if her inbox is quiet, she feels the withdrawal. That's the mark of someone who's played this game too long. But here's the most telling part. Watch how she presents herself physically, the curated poses, the carefully arched back, the strategic angles, the thirst-trap selfies posted at just the right time of night. These aren't innocent. They're designed, consciously or not, to bait attention, to remind her followers, I'm still desirable, don't forget me. Contrast this with a woman of depth. She doesn't need the constant performance. Her beauty is quieter. Her posts are fewer, but more authentic. She doesn't measure herself by how many men double-tap her picture. Social media also reveals patterns across time. Look at the turnover of her vibe. 1 month she's posting soft romantic content. The next, it's wild party nights. Then it's cryptic heartbreak quotes. Then it's a new me gym selfie phase. These cycles aren't random. They reflect the revolving door of men and moods. When her personal life changes, her feed changes. And if you've got sharp eyes, you'll see the rhythm of her romantic chaos written in her online timeline. And here's the irony. She might block you, hide her stories, or curate her posts when you're watching. But the truth leaks elsewhere. Tagged photos from friends, old highlights, screenshots. No matter how carefully she tries to rewrite the story, digital footprints don't disappear. The stoic man knows how to read the signs. He doesn't get seduced by the surface, the glamorous photos, the bold captions. He looks at the patterns, the need for attention, the inconsistency, the constant reinvention of identity. He sees social media for what it is, not just a highlight reel, but a confession booth. Because while her lips might say, I don't really go out like that, her Instagram says otherwise. While she might insist, I'm focused on myself, her late-night selfies tell the truth. While she might claim, I'm not into drama, her cryptic posts betray otherwise. And once you learn to read her feed through stoic eyes, you'll realize something she never wanted you to know. She may have erased names and numbers, but her patterns are carved into her digital history. And patterns never lie. 5. She moves fast, then pulls back. At first, it feels like magic. She's texting you constantly. She laughs at every joke. She leans in close, touches your arm, tells you she's never met anyone like you. The energy is intoxicating, fast, heated, almost overwhelming. You think you've finally cracked the code, that you've met a woman who truly sees you. And then, just as suddenly, she disappears. The texts slow down, the enthusiasm fades, the warmth turns cold. You're left wondering what you did wrong, trying to piece together how something so alive could vanish overnight. But here's the truth. This isn't about you. This is about her patterns. Women who've been with many men often develop a cycle, a rhythm of intensity followed by retreat. Why? Because intimacy isn't new to them. It doesn't scare them. They know how to spark connection instantly, because they've done it countless times before. But because they've repeated it so often, the high never lasts. The novelty fades quickly. And when it does, they pull back. Not because you